For the next phase of the morning session, the final session, it's a great opportunity to hear from our fellow organizations. This is a team sport. It's not one association, it's not one voice, but it's the voice of many with a common cause and a common purpose. And today we get to see that in living color. So I would like to now ask to the stage the newly elected president of the Adjutant Generals Association of the United States, from the great state of Connecticut, my colleague, Major General Fran Evon.
Thanks, Paul. So good morning, fellow guardsmen and women. I'm truly humbled and honored to be able to provide the AGAUS update this morning. So good afternoon, and let me begin actually with a heartfelt thank you to the National Guard Association of the United States for organizing this year's outstanding conference. A special thanks to Wisconsin's Adjutant General, Major General Matt Straub, and to the entire Wisconsin National Guard team for their hospitality, professionalism, and flawless execution. How about a round of applause for the Wisconsin team? You know, what they put together this past couple of days is a powerful reminder of what we can accomplish when we come together as one Guard community. I realize the state's dinner is on your mind, but before we break bread, I must speak to something more important, something that should command our attention every day we wear this uniform: preserving the National Guard's constitutional military construct. So just last week, I had the privilege of delivering a message to NGAUS, another great partner. Whether enlisted or officer, Army or Air, we are one National Guard. We must be resourced, respected, and retained as the cornerstone of both our national and state defense. And AGAUS, NGAUS, and NGAUS, we are not separate voices. We amplify one another, working together to protect and advance the Guard's mission. You see the leadership team, our summer conference in June in St. Augustine, and thank you to Florida for hosting us. We elected your new officers, and that's what you see here. Every day we wear the uniform, we inherit a legacy worth defending. The legacy began in Lexington and Concord, where local militia stood to defend their homes. One of them was Israel Putnam, a Connecticut farmer. When the alarm came, he left his plow in the field and rode to battle. When the alarm came, he stood as a reminder that the National Guard has always been there to lay down the tools of daily life and take up the defense of the Republic. That is who we were, that is who we are, and that is who we will always be. So today's Guard is no different. We're teachers, medics, mechanics, neighbors, and patriots in every zip code across the 54. Our dual role is not a burden, but it's our superpower. Behind every Guardsman is a family member, a family holding the line at home, and they deserve our thanks, our support, and our advocacy. We must be always ready and always there for them as well. We are the only military force grounded in the Constitution and rooted in our local communities. Since 9/11, more than 366,000 Army Guard soldiers and over 51,000 Air Guard men and women have deployed. The Guard delivers 20% of the joint force at 4% of the defense budget. The return on investment is unmatched, and we must continue to talk about that and advocate for that. We operate in 2,600 communities. We lead the state partnership program with 115 nations. We return $15,000 annually per Guardsman to the U.S. Treasury versus $125,000 for our active duty counterparts. And yet, proposals like LP 480 threaten our foundation, federalizing Air Guard space units without state consent. This isn't just a policy issue, it's a fight for the soul, the heart of our Guard. And this may be our hill, and we will not surrender it. So AGAUS represents the 54 adjutants general. Together, we identified 4 strategic priorities. And this is still a work in progress, and we meet after this business session for 3 hours later this afternoon to go over some of these and refine these and to really come up with a strategic plan on how we're going to get after it. But first, secure full-time manning. We operate at just 55 to 65% of validated full-time support. That must change. We need proportional increases in both our AGR and military technicians. We must reform and get behind military tech modernization, and build viable career paths for our soldiers and airmen. The second is enhanced training readiness. For the Army Guard, we must reach C3 and T3 readiness standards. We can't deploy West Virginia in the House. West Virginia couldn't deploy to deploy DC without those resources, right? In less than 24 hours, less than 48 hours. For our Air Guard, deployability within 72 hours is non-negotiable. We must fully participate in joint and international exercise. Third is the advanced proportional modernization. Equip the Guard for the next fight, not the last one. Modernization must be concurrent and proportional. That means recapitalizing fighters, enhancing our cyber and ISR, and investing in AI-enabled systems. And our fourth is basically around MILCON. We must achieve infrastructure and MILCON parity. Our facilities must match our mission. We need updated formulas, digital infrastructure, and net zero upgrades. These aren't luxuries. They are the foundation of our readiness across the 54. Now, these priorities are not optional, they are essential. The Total Force Optimization Memo is a watershed moment. Published recently, it could sideline us or it can empower us. We must seize this as an opportunity to make sure that our collective voice is heard. We are not a labor pool, we are not a backup plan. We are a constitutional force, and we must be resourced accordingly. We must resist any model that undermines our dual mission construct. Governors as our commanders-in-chief, unless federalized. Unit-based mobilization preserves our cohesion, and these are non-negotiables. So what's the ask in all of this, and what are we working for? When the next storm hits, or when the next call for troops goes out, it won't be a policy that responds. It won't be a memo that deploys. It'll be all of you, all of us, across the 54. So we cannot afford to be fragmented or passive. We must speak with unity, act with urgency, and lead with conviction. And your AGAUS is committed to that. So I ask you now, today, not next month, not next year, to act. Meet with your elected officials, meet with your governors, tell our story, engage your members of Congress, participate with our allies, NGAUS and AGAUS, like you're doing here this weekend. Educate our communities and allies. Defend our value, our structure, and our future. Let them hear from you, the soldiers and airmen whose lives and missions are shaped by their decisions and these decisions. So tell them the Guard is not the backup plan. We don't fight for more, we fight for what's right. We fight for readiness, for fairness, and for the constitutional balance that has protected this republic for nearly 250 years. When the next storm comes, it won't be a policy that answers, it will be us. With boots on the ground, airmen in the air, and families waiting at home. So let us stand together, let us demand the tools, the timing, and the trust that you have all earned and now deserve. And let us promise here and now that the National Guard will remain in every mission, in every generation, always ready, always there across the 54. God bless you, your families, and the United States of America. Thank you.
Outstanding message, General Evon. Outstanding message. And now it's up to every single one of us to pick up that message and make sure that it echoes across this nation and it's heard loud and clear in Washington and especially in the Pentagon. So thank you for that.